Oh my gosh, long time no see. Just kidding. Okay, so I went back and I fast forwarded through most of the video, but I wanted to remember why I started the rant in the first place, and it's because I was going to get started on the next week, and then I got distracted with telling you about how I chill on Sundays, because Sundays I don't work. And then I got into the whole crafts thing, and I got a different tangent with my grandmother. So anyway, crafts is one of the things that I do. I enjoy it. And what else? I read books, I watch movies, TV shows. I'm a little bit into everything. I enjoy baking, but I haven't baked because the kitchen here isn't ideal for that. But when I get my own place, I'll do that more. I like cooking, but not as much as baking. Baking, I feel like you can experiment more. I know I said reading, but I also read fan fiction. I typically stick to Harry Potter fan fiction, just because sometimes you want to read something that's new, but also something where you know the characters. I mean, that's why we love certain shows and watch shows over again. But sometimes I don't just want to sit there and watch a show. I want to use my imagination a little bit, but not a lot. So reading fan fiction is great for that, because it's like, okay, it's still the characters you love, but then the situation has changed. You can put different twists, put in different relationships, and I mean, it sort of changes the character a little bit, but the basics of the character are still the same. Like, Ron is still Ron, and Harry is still Harry, and Hermione is still Hermione. I mean, Draco is still a little ferret most of the time, but sometimes he redeems himself, and it's really nice to hear a story from his perspective. Or sometimes I really like Luna. Honestly, I feel like she was super underused, and she's awesome. So a story where she's a more central character is really, really cool, because you get to see a lot more of her. And if you like the basis of her character, then seeing the situation that she's in is interesting, and having her play a more main part is fun. And now I went off on another tangent. So anyway, that's what Sundays are for. Now, on the 23rd, which is the day we're talking about, by the way, on the 23rd of October, because yeah, that's how far behind I am, I actually planned an event, and I went to a tea party, and I'll put the pictures in because they're awesome. It's called Drink Me Tea Room. I'd never heard of it before, but it sounded interesting. And it's sort of based off of Alice in Wonderland. And if you don't know it, well, I don't know what to tell you. Look it up. So yeah, we went there, and we specifically rented out one of the little room that's in there for the event, and it was hocus pocus thing because Halloween is the next week. So even though it has an overall Alice in Wonderland theme, they do other like under themes or mini themes, I guess. I don't really know. Like I said, I'd never heard of this place before, and it just sounded interesting. But I like tea, and I like Halloween, so I thought it'd be cool, and it was. So we tried a whole bunch of different teas, and then we had a whole bunch of different snacks and little treats, and we all dressed sort of fancy. And as I was saying all this, I'm putting in the pictures. I mean, it was good. If you're ever in Arizona, you should look it up. It's in the Mesa area, I think. It's about close as I would say is the Mesa-ish area. Just Google it. Drink Me Tea Room. But if you look up Alice in Wonderland tea place, you could probably find that too. I don't know. So yeah, that was Sunday. That was really fun. And then the 24th is my mom's birthday. And because I have a lemon brain, I don't remember exactly what I've told you about my mother. My mom was my best friend. She committed suicide a couple years ago, and it wasn't really a surprise to anybody who really knew her, but the fact that it happened when it happened was, I mean, it's like, it's really hard. I feel like it's really hard to explain, or really bad. Like, she'd been dealing with depression her whole life, and I know because we were really close, and obviously I've talked about my depression. We would try to give each other little tips that worked for us to help with the next bout that would come around, and some things that worked for her didn't work for me. When I get depressed, I sleep like a shit ton. I almost feel like I can't move, and I have no energy to do anything. To even go to the bathroom sometimes is like the most, I have to build myself up for it all day. And it's not because I don't have to go to the bathroom, it's because it's just walking from here to the bathroom, from my room to the bathroom, is just so much. And but hers wasn't quite like that. Hers was, she always described it as like she had a voice in her head that would rag on her all the time. And I feel like that's a more insidious kind of depression. It takes, I feel like mine is a bit more physical. I mean, it still takes all depression takes a mental toll, but I feel like mine takes more of a physical role, whereas hers is like just an unending stream of viciousness in her brain. So, her birthday's on October 24th, and she loved Halloween. It was her favorite holiday. And because she's my mother, obviously I grew up loving Halloween too. Part of the reason why I like some creepy things, but not others. And, but birthdays and Mother's Day and holidays, every day is really hard, but those days and then the day that she died it's a lot. And sorry. So for her birthday, I didn't want to just sit depressed all day and do nothing, and I didn't want to work because I can't stop thinking about her. I mean, birthdays are really important to me, so I always tried to make it super special. We would usually spend the whole day together. So, miss her a lot. So, for her birthday, I didn't want to slip. I was doing pretty good. And I didn't want to slip into a mental break. And I didn't want to just be busy all day and distract myself, and not think about her, because as much as it hurts, I love my mother. And even when it hurts, it's still good sometimes to think about her. Oh, I was going to not cry. That's why I was making this video now. It's because I figured I wouldn't mess up my makeup. Okay, so I planned to have a dentist appointment on her birthday, which I know sounds so weird, but one of the things that I struggle with is taking care of myself, and I very typically will run myself down helping people because I enjoy helping people, and then I'll forget, or I'll just put off taking care of myself for so much that it becomes a problem. That's part of my weight problem. And so I had 2 wisdom teeth, only on the top, and they weren't impacted, which is when they grow sideways this way. They were coming straight down. I had room in my mouth for them. I had had x-rays from previous dentists, but insurance ran out, and it's expensive to get your wisdom teeth pulled without insurance. It's like, if you're put under, which I wasn't quite sure pain-wise how I would handle it, so I wanted to be put under. It's a few $1,000s for just 2 teeth. I mean, if you have a 4, then that's even more to get them extracted. And so I put it off, and I put it off so long that they actually both grew in. And like, there were a few days where my whole jaw would be just numb and sore from it moving down. So, but before my trip, I had gone and found a new dentist here finally, and because I had wanted to get a teeth cleaning, because it's been a while, because my dentist in Rochester had retired. I don't remember if that was in the video or not. So quick recap, that's what happened. And when I was there, I was talking to him about my wisdom teeth, and I was like, you know, I've been putting it off, and I know I need to get them taken out, because the other dentist did tell me that because they're so far back in your mouth, they're really hard to brush, and eventually you'll get cavities. And I definitely didn't want fucking that. So, because I'm terrified that, like, my mouth will rot out or something, which is why I brush my teeth and floss and mouthwash. And, I've seen pictures of people who have their teeth rotted out like that, and like, I understand. I am not trying to be offensive. I understand. Sometimes people don't have the means to take care of it, to take care of themselves, to brush their teeth and continue a good dental hygiene or do any of that. But sometimes they do, and then they just don't. And then it's just from neglect, and that I don't understand. Like I said, I'm terrified of it a little bit. So, for her birthday, I made an appointment to get this one of my wisdom teeth extracted, because I was like, oh, maybe if I break it up. And I had, when I was, I think 10 or 11, I had fillings done. Like, I didn't have cavities. I want to say that because I'm very proud of the fact that I didn't have cavities. I'd never had a cavity. but they were worn down enough because I was an ice chewer. Oh, my bad. They were worn down, and so he filled them with like this polymer or whatever, and those were breaking down, and underneath them it was starting to cavity. There was like just little hints of shadows on 2 teeth here, and then 1 on the bottom, and then 2 teeth here. Oh, it's on this side for her birthday. So for her birthday, or not for her birthday, on her birthday, I had this wisdom tooth, not this one, this wisdom tooth, and these 2 refilled. Like, he scraped out the old one and put a whole new one in, because the startings of the cavities underneath them were like really bad or something. And one of them even had a hole in it, like something had been poked through it, which totally could have been my bad, because I have this little picker that I sometimes use to get food that's really stuck. So totally could have been my bad. But anyway, there was a literal hole in the middle of the filling that had been put there when I was a kid. And so underneath it, it was just going to get really bad. And it was starting to shadow cavity. Like, it was like the very beginning stages of cavity, and on the x-rays and stuff, it looks like the tiniest little shadow. It's sort of weird. So anyway, so I made an appointment to do that and actually spend the money, and the dentist that I found really reassured me. He was great. He was great. Sorry, my legs asleep, so like I wanted to lay back, but then I get neck rolls. He was really great. He talked to me about what he would do for my wisdom teeth and for the replacements. And then he told me that he couldn't put me under if that's something that I wanted, but he could give me like the local anesthetic or the numbing. I don't know what the fuck it's called. It's a needle and they shove it up in your gums. Well, first they use the gel and they numb fucking your whole mouth, and then they use the needle with the other stuff and it numbs up your whole face, so your whole half of your face feels numb. So yeah, he was like, I could do it under that and it wouldn't hurt. And so yeah, I went, had the appointment first thing in the morning. I think it was like 8 or 8:30 or something. So was there for a couple hours, and then there's like rules to follow afterwards. Like, you're not supposed to use a straw, and you have to prevent the dry socket. So I had bought a whole bunch of soft foods beforehand, like little pudding cups, and I had made smoothies and just, soft things that wouldn't get stuck. And so yeah, that's what I did. And I came home and I had all my nice soft foods, and I did an edible because I think it's dumb to use a whole shit ton of painkillers when you could do an edible and it fucking lasts for hours, or at least for me it does, and made me floaty. And then I wasn't super sad when I was thinking about my mom, because I was just floaty and I was happy to be, having her on my brain. So yeah, that was her birthday, which was Monday on the 24th. And then I worked the next day, and day after that, and the day after that, and the day after that. Just, I had a new client, lives up north, like an hour away, and it's a big project, so it's like, it's gonna take a couple months. Like, I started when I got back from my trip, and she's so nice, so freaking nice. This new client is so nice, and so soft-spoken, too. Like, I have to really pay attention when she's talking, because sometimes she talks so softly that I can't hear her. So yeah, it's been, the next couple weeks are just a lot of going over there and helping her with things. She's moving, and so we're going through her property and separating it out to things that should stay with the property, things that she wants to keep, and things that just need to be thrown away, and things that are for Goodwill. And she's a little bit of a hoarder, so the keep pile is a little big. But I have to say, she does a fantastic job of giving stuff to Goodwill. She maybe keeps a couple things that I would just toss, because, I mean, there's pieces that are like broken on a fan, and she wants to keep them because she might find those pieces somewhere else and then be able to fix the fan, which I get, but at the same time, she has 3 other fans, so I would just throw that motherfucker away. So yeah, I did a lot of work with her, and then it'll be the same thing for the next couple of videos, for the next couple weeks. I didn't really do... Oh! On Wednesday night, I went to the Fear Fest with the group, and the ENA group, and it was really fun. It was really cool. And then I found a really cool t-shirt for Nick, my brother Nick, and he loved it. It wasn't really a present, it was just sort of a, I got this because I thought you would like it gift. And I feel like I was gonna say something. Oh, so the tickets that we got, there were like different stations and things that you could walk through, like little mini haunted houses, or not really mini, but multiple haunted houses. And then there was a corn maze. Well, I didn't realize that our tickets didn't include the maze, so I was a little bummed about that, but the rest of it was really cool. And I'm getting tired. So I'll probably post this video in the morning, since it's another long one and I still have to add photos of the tea, and I took pictures at the other thing. Oh, I think I even have a picture of my tooth, because I kept my wisdom tooth, because I have all my baby teeth, so why wouldn't I keep my wisdom tooth too? The doctor looked at me funny, but like, I feel like I have this little tin with all my baby teeth. So, I mean, why wouldn't I just add my wisdom teeth to that? Makes sense to me. But yeah. So I'll add in all of the pictures of the tea and the tooth and the haunted fear thing. Whatever, I don't know what to call it. Yep. I didn't work on Saturday. Didn't work on Sunday. And then that Monday was Halloween. And I just watched... I didn't work on Halloween. I watched scary movies. I just watched a bunch of scary movies. And, we we didn't even get any trick-or-treaters because Riley, the little bitch dog, barks people when they walk by. So the one little kid that we saw walking the neighborhood didn't even come to our door because Riley was barking. And even though she's tiny, she sounds vicious. So yeah, that is the end of October. I will add pictures and post in the morning. And then I just have to tell you all about November and December, and then go back and do the rest of my trip. Those videos are super labor intensive. I mean, at least for me, because I have to add the pictures and then put in the words, and I tangent myself like crazy, so I forget where I'm at. But yeah, I can't think of anything else. This video is long again. It was supposed to be short. Good night.